Welcome, Eagle fans, to the Week 5 Ouachita Christian Eagle Football Coaches Show, brought to you by McDonald's of North Monroe, located at 4095 Sterlington Road. Use the McDonald's app for great discounts, and then pick up your food on the way to the game on Friday, or you can get a McDelivery. So, I'm Daniel Kirkendall, happy to be here with head football coach Stephen Fitzhugh. All right, Coach, moved to 4-0, coming off a win against the Madison Jaguars, and kind of launching us into a homecoming week. So we're live on Ouachita Christian campus right now in the cafeteria known as the Table. And in just a few moments, we'll have kids coming in, but we do want to talk about last week's game a little bit. Coach, another shutout. You're outscoring your opponents on the season 187-6. And I think our defense really stepped up last Thursday night. So.
I tell you, I was proud of our effort, and they did a good job stopping the run. Only gave up one pass play of over 16 yards and was able to, D-line get pressure on them. Ridge coach had a couple of big interceptions that again, there's things that, we as coaches see on film and stuff that is like, hey, those are great teaching plays for how he did that for future years. That so many times a person in coverage, especially linebackers, just kind of drop to an area and they're watching the quarterback. But what he did on those plays, he dropped to the person and went to where the receiver was, connected with him, got in the passing lane, and that was big to get that. I think his first interception, or maybe his second one, was the one that was the pick six that jumps us up 14-0 right off the bat. And so anytime you can get momentum like that, get a defensive score, that's very demoralizing to the other team. And so, but they did a great job. I was real proud of the goal line stand after they had that long kickoff return, took it inside the 10-yard line, and our guys got put really in one of the first stressful situations that they've had all year. Of how do you respond against adversity? A long kickoff return, first and goal, and our guys held strong for 4 straight plays. And so you love to see things like that. And again, just they did a great job.
Well, you mentioned those interceptions, and both of those happened in the first quarter. He had 2 interceptions in the first quarter. I think that was an important couple of events that happened in the game because, before the game, things started off kind of weird. We get to Madison, and there's no electricity in the whole town. Yeah. And so, the officials show up and you guys start talking about, kind of getting a plan B in place. Right. And so
we decided 6 o'clock we're moving it to OCS.
Yes.
6 o'clock we started heading out. At 6:01 the lights came on.
They did. So. I had the stuff in my truck and I was like, hey, you got to be kidding me. But hey,
unique situation, crazy because and somebody pointed out before the game. They're like, Coach, you realize this is the third game this year that we have dealt with light issues on our away teams. Caldwell, we didn't make a decision until like the day before at 1 o'clock whether we were going to play here or there. And then General Trask, we did move here because of light situations. And then, so, we only have 2 more regularly scheduled away games. Hopefully the lights will be going well leading up to those things.
Well, it was funny because I saw people walking in and I was like, well, here we go. And they're like, yeah, I turned around twice already, but I'm here. So, and, we got kicked off. And I didn't know how much that threw your team off, but, both teams had to deal with it. So I don't think there was any kind of advantage there. And so we get the lights on and then kind of set the tone early with our defense. I mentioned outscoring opponents 187-6. And you talked about those interceptions. We've had, I think, 7 interceptions on the year. That particular game, we had 14 points off of turnovers. Actually, both interceptions, one of them was the pick six. The other one we ended up scoring off of. So it was good to see our offense.
Offense has done well capitalizing on those opportunities because that's the thing is turnovers lead to points. And, in offense, they did. They capitalized on that. And so, that was big.
Yeah, so, the Jaguars, I will say this about going to Madison Parish. That was about the most hospitable group of people, and as nice as they could be. I guess they understood the electricity situation, but throughout the game, I mean, the people were just so welcoming, at least on our side, in the box, and just a hospitable group of people. So I do want to give them a shout out if they happen to watch this, but very hospitable. On the offensive side of the ball, Macon had a huge game, rushed for 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and we've come to see that from Macon, and almost expect him to have a big game every week. He's a great player, super fun to watch, but there were some times where he had a little difficulty getting going. So what I want to know is, from a fan's perspective, it looked like their defense was really getting into the backfield, and Madison's was, and I don't know if they were bringing more people than we had to block them or what was going on, but it was disruptive for a little while.
Yeah, I tell you, one guy stood out on film, and number 52, their linebacker. I mean, he made plays all over the place, and he really, like I say, he hit some creases and made some plays that in the backfield, things like that. And again, he's just a good football player, and good players going to make good plays at times. And so, yes, we come to expect that, hey, we need to do a 10-yard run every single play. But there are times that, the other team's going to make a play. And like I say, 52 for them, was outstanding linebacker, and he made a lot of great plays, just scraping. But yeah, for our offense, I mean, Macon to have 200 yards rushing. I think Luke threw for over 100 and something again, and so offense again to put 42 points on the board, for the fourth consecutive week, with 4 new offensive linemen up there, and again, all of them, it's their first time as a unit working together, and so. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, so 4 games into the season, let's see, we've had Cooper Russell with an interception return for a touchdown, and then Melton with an interception return for a touchdown, and now Rich Coates joins that group. 3 defensive touchdowns in 4 games. I mean,
that's pretty big.
You got to love that.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, the other thing I want to ask about, one thing I do want to talk about is Madison had a clear game plan going into it. They get the ball first, and they go on a 22-yard drive that lasted over 5 minutes. So they wanted to play keep away, and they did that throughout the game. 29 minutes of possession compared to our 19 minutes of possession. So being able to overcome that time of possession, I thought they executed their game plan well. They just weren't able to capitalize.
Right, they did. I mean, they nickel and dimed and made some plays here and there, and just kept moving the sticks. And again, that's good game plan to have. You know?
I mean that's what you got to do. And I thought that they executed it well, but our defense stood up to the test. The other thing I want to ask about is the penalties. My goodness, Coach. We were there. It felt like we were there forever. So many penalties in the game, and I don't think it was the officials. I mean, I think they were legit.
Well, that was. I told the guys after the game, my 30 years here, I don't remember us ever having 4 offside penalties in one game.
Man.
And most of those were first quarter.
That's right.
And so. Just lack of discipline on our part and things that we have to correct and get straightened out, because those are things they'll cost you a game.
Yeah.
Especially end of the game, team goes on 2 and you jump off sides and give them that free first down. I mean, go back to Calvary in 2019. We got the ball and there's about a minute left in the game, and it's 4th down on their end of the field.
That's
and
right.
We go on 2 and they jump off sides, and we were able to take a knee. And so those are things that we have to get corrected.
Yeah, so we ended up with 9 penalties for 75 yards. However, the Jaguars had 12 for 88. So there were just a lot of penalties in the game. One that I want to talk about, because I want some clarity on it, because I want to make sure I understand the rule correctly. The onside kick. That
was a missed call, and then there's times that I realize, and so I really appreciate the Monroe Officiating Association. Stuart Slaughter runs that association and does a great job of training and teaching officials. There's a lot of rules in the rule book.
There is.
And things change. Every year they're adding things. But that was Mr. Slaughter makes it real clear. to all coaches that, hey, any cause of concern, send it in. We will evaluate and we will discuss it and talk about it for teaching and training. And so that was one that I sent in, and he sent back and said, yes, that was a legal kick. The rule. They added a rule in 2020 that states if you kick the ball directly into the ground off of the tee, it's called a pop-up kick, and it takes a high bounce. That is an illegal kick. The one that Gavin did for the onside, he did not slam it directly into the ground. He kicked it to where it went probably 6 yards and a little bit outside the hash before it took that bounce, and it just took a great big bounce. And so, I understand the confusion on the part of the official is that high bounce is what threw things off and added confusion. But we did get clarification on that this week, that kick. He was like, hey, we will discuss and address that, use it as a learning tool. And that was a well-executed kick. And so, yes, that's something we'll be doing more often.
Well, like you said, it was well-executed. It was beautiful. I mean, that thing it skipped and then bounced straight up, and it was like you draw it up. So, and that's the excuse me. That's the reason I ask is because I don't think we should throw that one away.
No, that's a good one. Gavin works hard at his kicking game, and again, as a weapon that we can use a lot of different type kicks and everything. So he does a great job with that.
All right. Well, in just a minute, Coach, we're going to talk about the Rayville game this week. It's homecoming week, and kind of preview what's to come with that. But before that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. So stay with us. We'll come back and talk to Coach about the next game.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to the weekly OCS Football Coaches Show, and we've got some special guests here today. We've got number 6, Eli Red. He's a cornerback and defensive back on the team, and number 7, Cooper Russell, who you'll see at middle linebacker and tight end sometimes. So, guys, the first thing I want to say is thank y'all for taking time away from class. You're supposed to be in class right now,
Yes, sir.
I call that an excused absence. So
That's fine with me.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm glad y'all are here. So, do want to ask you a couple questions and let all these fans kind of know a little bit about you if they don't already know you. So I had Cooper in class. I've known Cooper for a long time. His mom taught one of my kids, and she was a great teacher. Still loves Walker, and Walker still loves her every time they see each other. So your family has played a big part in your academic career, in your athletic pursuits. How much does that mean to you to have a family that supports you?
It means a ton. Even like last year, I sat the bench. They still came like every single game. So they're always there. They're still there this year. Oh, they never miss a game. JV, middle school, baseball. They're always there. I know they love me, and I love them too. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Man, that's awesome. That's good to have a great family. And Eli, I don't know your family as well, but because you've only been here for a couple years. You made a transition from another school to OCS. So tell us a little bit about that transition and how it went, coming to a school like this.
It's been like not even a whole year yet. Christmas time will be a year, but the transition, it was not easy. I mean, no transition's ever easy, but it was definitely the right decision is what I thought, because, it's just my personality fits in better here. It's just, I enjoy it a lot. It's a good school, good experience, good environment, a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I think you've done well with it, and love watching both of you guys play on most of the time it's Friday nights or Thursday nights sometimes. But I know there's more to you than just what we see on the field. I see you at practice. I see you in your games. What do you guys like to do? Cooper, I'll go to you first. What do you like to do besides football?
I love to hunt.
Okay.
I plan on going hunting later today after practice. So hopefully I'll shoot one. But hunting, fishing, being outside, studying too. I'm pretty smart.
Yeah.
So I try to be.
Yeah, well, that's cool. What about you, Eli?
Similar thing, hunting, fishing, big outdoors. I really like to, go on drives by myself, just back roads, windows down, listen to music.
Yeah, what about other sports? You play other sports?
Oh, yeah, I play baseball and run track.
Okay. All right, good. Cooper, is this your only sport?
No, sir. I played baseball in the past. I didn't play last year, but I'm coming back this year.
Oh, it's a big comeback.
I'll be out there.
All right, well, good. Well, yeah, you hear that? Come out in the spring and watch these guys do their thing on the baseball field or on the track. Senior year, it's kind of one of those bittersweet things. You're enjoying the comfort of where you've been for a while, but you're going to have to turn a corner and begin making plans for your post-high school life. So I'll start with Eli this time. Eli, what are your plans beyond high school?
Let's see. My family owns, well, not my direct family, but like grandparents and stuff. They own several nursing homes and stuff. So I was planning on going to ULM to get a health science degree. So I'm able to manage nursing homes and stuff. I'll go into business and all that. Yeah. So, I think it just fits.
Yeah.
Like it fits me.
Yeah, it's kind of your heritage a little bit,
Yep.
so that'll be cool. Glad you're staying in town, too. Cooper, what's working for you? You got a Louisiana Tech shirt, but I saw you had a ULM shirt on the other day, too. So,
Yes, sir, I did.
Just want to make that clear. So what are your plans?
I'm not sure where I'm going yet. I'm going to study kinesiology somewhere and be a chiropractor.
Okay, so
That's the plan.
Any opportunities that you've been
Yes, sir.
given?
I have one offer from UAM in Monticello, so that's one.
The Boll Weevils?
The Boll Weevils,
Yeah.
yes, sir. That's my address, too. It's Boll Weevil Boulevard, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to a few more coaches, so we'll see what comes.
Okay, well, I just want to say that both of you guys are fantastic at what you do on Friday nights. Our defense has only allowed 6 points this year. I mean, we've outscored our opponents 187-6. I talked to Coach about that in the coaches show, but I mean, you guys are kind of senior leaders on that defense, play a big part. Cooper, you're having a phenomenal season. Through 4 games, you've got 33 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 2 passes deflected, and a forced fumble. You are all over the field, and I think that's I love watching it because most of the time in an Eagle defense, the middle linebacker is more of a kind of a get in the way type of guy.
Yes,
but
sir.
you get all over the field and make plays. And
Yes,
like
sir.
you said last year, you didn't play very much, to be honest. You're 6'6" and playing middle linebacker. What's that been like, kind of taking on that new position and the success you've had at it?
I was DN a whole career. I moved to Sam linebacker last year, and then Mike before Cedar Creek, like week 8. So I loved it. It's been fun, real fun. I'm doing pretty good so far. I just want to keep doing better.
Yeah, stay healthy, and
Yes, sir.
but you're doing a great job, really holding that defense down. I think it's been great. Plus, your statistics, jump off the page if anybody looks at. And I'm just going to say this, coaches, if any college coach is watching, don't miss out. Don't miss out on this kid. And Eli, you're playing cornerback. You've got 12 tackles on the year, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 2 pass breakups, 2 passes defended, and 2 forced fumbles. You made some really good plays, especially on run support. So, is that something that you kind of knew for when you got here? You knew that was an opportunity to play cornerback.
Well, at my old school, I played outside linebacker. It was like an outside linebacker, kind of rotate to safety, depending
Kind of rover type position?
Yeah, kind of like that. And I was not easy, but used to playing the run.
Mm-hmm.
I was good run support for an outside guy coming around the edge, and I don't know, it was just kind of what I've always been taught, what I've always done. So this year, moving to corner, I mean, it's different, new position, new concepts, new techniques. But, I mean, I'm just always willing to learn and push as hard as I can to get it right.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job, and especially when you get the opportunity to lay a big hit on somebody, and I know that to me that looks like I bet that's Eli's favorite thing to do is come up there and hit somebody. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Just gets me going.
Yeah, it started off at that scrimmage game we had over in Ruston where you smacked that dude. So again, love watching you guys play. Homecoming week is this week. How are you guys going to stay focused for the game? You can go ahead, Cooper.
You just study huddle, look at the defensive sheets Coach Fitzhugh gives us, and stay focused on what to do. Don't get distracted by all the pretty girls walking around.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. Just stay focused on the main goal because we got to play Friday still. We can't forget. But, I mean, it doesn't mean not have fun all week, dress up like everybody else. But we can't lose sight of what the main mission is for this week.
All right. Well, last question coming up. Cooper, what do you What do you hope to accomplish this season on the football field?
Dominate, get undefeated, and win state. That's the overall goal.
Yeah.
So that's the end goal, too.
Yeah. What about you?
Same thing. I mean, do my stuff right and hold the team accountable as they would hold me accountable to doing my stuff. And I've never been part of a state championship team during football season. Well, yeah, during football. And, I'm excited. I'm just ready to see what's to come for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I look forward to watching y'all on Friday. And then as we get into the second half of our season, our schedule kind of takes a jump up with our opponents in difficulty. And so those games are going to be exciting. Really get to see where you guys have grown and what we can work on before our playoff run. So, again, great answers, guys. I want to thank you for your time, for missing a little bit of class and coming in here and sitting down and talking to me and talking to the people that come and watch you every Friday night. So we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back in just a few moments to talk a little bit more with Coach Fitzhugh.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back, Eagle fans, to the Week 5 OCS Football Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach Stephen Fitzhugh, and I want to talk about, coming off that 42-0 win at Madison Parish, going into this homecoming week. And, Coach, the first thing I want to ask you about homecoming is, this is your 27th year. Let's see, you've coached 335 games as OCS head coach. And when homecoming week comes, I imagine you get to see a lot of players from the past. How much do you look forward to seeing those guys?
Yeah, I tell you, it's great because this is oftentimes the one game that people will come back in town for, and so it's great to see former players. And those years pass by really quick. I mean, I've been here at OCS for 31 years now, and OCS been in school for 50 years, and so having the big celebration this weekend, things like that. There'll be a lot of players that do come back in town and just alumni. So it's going to be great to see a lot of people that you hadn't seen in a while that may live out of town, out of state, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's a great weekend to come in for a game and for the celebration on Saturday night, the 50-year celebration, which I think is going to be just a blowout bash. I mean, it's going to be a big deal, and I know several people are excited about that. I'll be in attendance, and I know you will be there also. So I'm going to put you on the spot real quick, and I want to ask you, Coach, what is your most memorable game as head coach at Ouachita Christian?
Wow. That's one to. It's hard to pick out one. I can probably give you a top 10 because there's some that obviously I think these past several years. I mean. Calvary in 2019 was big. South Plaquemines in 2010 was big. Iota in 2000 was a huge one. And, of course, the semifinal game in 2020 at Vermilion that come down to overtime game, as well as 2021 overtime out here versus Calvary that, you win those games in the semis on the overtime to go to the Dome. I mean, there's been a lot of memorable games, and so it's hard to pick just one.
Yeah, I bet so. With
some of the top ones.
Yeah, with 335 games under your belt, that's I'm sure there is a lot to pick from. But the ones you mentioned are mine. Just in the past 8 years of watching OCS football, that Calvary game, that Glenbrook game was pretty good too that we had here.
No doubt about it, definitely was.
All right, so this week it's homecoming. You see some of the kids come in. We're here at break time. They're dressed in their get-ups and they're looking around. Is it easy to keep your team focused this week? Or?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we tell them dress up, have fun, eat a lot of food during the day, and then when it's time for practice, we're going to get out there and get to business and do what we need to do and be focused and sharp in practice. So it's easy. They do a good job of adjusting to that.
Well, good. Well, the Rayville Hornets are 0-4 coming into this. And so, you look at their record, there's not a lot to speak of there. You hope you come out Friday night, you take care of business, and then you kind of vault yourself into the second half of the season. We're 5 games in after this coming Friday. What do you expect from this Rayville team when they come to OCS on Friday?
I'll tell you, it's easy to look at on film. A very talented group of athletes. I mean, I'd mentioned number 52 for Madison at linebacker was a guy that just ran to the football. I feel like Rayville has several of those players on defense that are guys that run to the football, good speed, good athleticism. They're a very dangerous team that they're 0-4, but they played a pretty tough schedule when you look at who they played with Sterlington, Oak Grove, Bastrop. I mean, they have played a tough schedule thus far, and so very talented team that, as we talk about, we're not going to look at opponents' records and what they've done here or there. It's about us that we need to go out and execute. We got to take care of the football, make the blocks, make the tackles, and just do the little things right, eliminate the lack of discipline penalties. And so each week's opportunity for us to get better, and that's what our goal is.
Okay, so I mentioned in the first half of the show, we've outscored opponents 187-6 on the season through the first 4 games. Great job by the team, but none of the teams that we've played are ranked or are in the polls of any voter. With the level of competition that we've played, do you feel like this team is where they need to be to propel into the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, again, we got to be in that situation last week. How do you respond in adversity? We challenged our guys at halftime. We didn't start off real well last week, and we challenged them at halftime. I thought they responded real well. Offense comes out and scores on the first play of the second half. Again, defense ended up having a goal line stand last week, and so it's about the effort and attitude, and again, you can't control what your opponents do, but you can control what you do, and again, that's what we want to do is we execute our game plan, and do the things that we're taught to do in practice and things such as that, and again, just execute on the fundamentals of the game when it comes to blocking, tackling, catching, taking care of the football, all of those things.
So after week 5, we'll go into the second half of the season, and the second half of our season looks to be a bit tougher, than the first half. Starting off with Delhi Charter, who's 3-1 right now. I know that's something that all of us are looking forward to. The Mangums and the Oak Groves and Faraday's and Beekman's the other team that we have in the second half of the season. So. How does it look going into the second half of the season? You feel good about, again, kind of where we're at. You clean up the penalties and those types of things. I think we're in for a good second half.
Yeah, again, we want to get better each and every week, and it's hard to believe we're already through week 5 almost. I mean, that's crazy. It flies by, and again, we just want to make the most of each day, each opportunity that we get. And get better each and every week because every opponent's capable of beating us, and if we are not playing our A game, so we need to come out and execute each and every week.
Okay, so we got homecoming on Friday night. I know the high school kids have their kind of field day, game day on Friday, but what's going to go on during the game for people that may come out, for the homecoming festivities?
Well, hopefully a lot of points by OCS and a lot of tackles by OCS as well. So, like I said, we'll have the homecoming ceremony at halftime, and hopefully, we'll put on a great show on the field and for all the alumni to see as well.
All right, well, that's we'll begin to wrap up our Week 5 Coaches Show. I want to thank you, Coach Fitzhugh, for your time and coming out here and talking about your team, the transparency of being transparent with what's going on with your squad. We've got Friday night, Rayville's coming to town, 7 o'clock for our homecoming game. Saturday night, we have the 50th celebration, the 50th anniversary celebration, for OCS. I know a lot of people are going to come out. So we've got a huge week here at Washita Christian School. We've got dress-up days. I think today was you're supposed to dress like you're 50 years old and up, and I guess
I did that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. That's what, my son was getting dressed. And I was like,
every day.
He was like, I need a cane. I'm like, no, it's just 50. You don't need a cane. 50's not that old. But I guess pajamas are a thing.
I did notice a lot of people wearing these today. I told them just wait. They'll be there one day.
Yeah, I had to get those bifocal contacts. So just recently.
That's what I use on game night.
That's right. There you go. So It's a real thing. So again, I want to thank you. I want to thank McDonald's for sponsoring our coaches show Friday night, 7 o'clock, homecoming against Rayville. Be there for the game, and for the students who I know our homecoming court will be dressed in their very best, and I can bet you our student section is going to be dressed differently, but in their very best.
Absolutely.
Also, so we'll be back next week to preview the currently 3-1 Delhi Charter Gators. So until next week, go Eagles.